CyberSecurity Expo in the Marina Bay Sands Convention Center in Singapore. And with me today is Mr. John Shier, Senior Security Expert of Sophos. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I'll just go straight into the questions.
Sure.
And maybe you can start by telling me what new innovations is Sophos looking at to remain competitive in the cybersecurity industry?
Well, one of the particular innovations that we're doing right now is, we're looking at machine learning and seeing how we can apply it to different areas of our product portfolio, and then also how can we use it to, as you said, drive innovation. And one of the things that you're going to see coming from Sophos is this sort of agnostic view of security devices in your environment. So whether it's a computer, a Wi-Fi access point, a tablet, we don't care. We can gather telemetry from that data, we can apply some machine learning, and then we can learn things about the device. What kind of device is it? What's it doing? What kind of users are interacting with that device? How are they interacting with the device? And based on that, we can then apply some protection to that whole ecosystem. So instead of just focusing solely on endpoints or on servers or just the network, we're going to take a step back and look at the entire ecosystem and start applying not only some of the traditional protections, but also some of these newer machine learning based protections.
That's very interesting because if you look around, the number of devices and IoT devices is really growing, and you've got so many devices being connected and all that. The threat landscape is also becoming a bit more complex with all this. So when you speak to your clients and looking at organizations, what are their concerns and what can they do to optimize their cybersecurity?
Well, the thing about optimizing your cybersecurity is all about managing risk, right? That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. Is you can't completely eliminate all the risk, but you can definitely manage it. And so it starts off by doing some basics. Making sure you're patching on time, making sure that certain server segments or certain parts of your network are segmented, and then above and beyond that, you're looking at our processes. How are we managing the intake of documents, for example, right? Because we know a lot of the malware that's coming in today is coming in through malicious documents. So if you're in HR, you have to open resumes. If you're in finance, you have to open Excel spreadsheets.
That's right. Yeah.
So maybe we need to look at our processes and figure out, well, is there a way to maybe open all the documents on one machine that's separate, right? And then finally, above that is that layer of technology, the additional technology that can not only prevent things from happening, because prevention is number one,
yes, that's true,
right? But then it's the detection and response, right? What if something does happen? How fast do we detect it, and then how quickly do we act to remediate it? And it's really all of these three things, this layered defense, that's going to, it's this complex defense that's going to battle the complex threats. But at least at Sophos, we try to give you these tools that are easy to use and are simple to implement.
That's great. Now, having said that, the Intercept X Advanced is one of the industry's most sophisticated endpoint prevention solution. Now, what makes it stand out to the other solutions in the market?
Right. Well, what's great about Intercept X is not only does it incorporate sort of the traditional security technologies of an endpoint product, but it also introduces all the new modern things, the next generation pieces like machine learning. We've got anti-exploit technology in there. We've got the leading anti-ransomware technology, and now we're bringing EDR into that platform as well. So instead of having more headcount to try to fight fires, the EDR is going to help you recognize where some of these problems lie, and then we're going to actually apply some intelligence and some advice to all of this. So if you are finding yourself with a particular threat in your network, then the product's going to say, well, here are the things that you might want to consider in order to A, shut down this threat, but also B, prevent this threat from happening again. So what we want to do is we want to give companies as much help and the best chance possible to, again, prevent threats, but when stuff does happen, give them as much information that they can possibly use in order to find where else that threat is in your network, find out what data did it touch, so do you need to now report things to a regulator, and then how do I fix my systems so that we prevent this the next time around.
All right, so I'm going to ask you my last question right now. Now, you guys have a presence in Southeast Asia, right?
Right.
So when you all speak to your clients here, what are the biggest concerns they have when it comes to cybersecurity? I mean, you mentioned that it's all about prevention, right? So is that the same concern, or are they looking beyond that as well?
I think there's a couple things that are keeping CISOs up at night. One, obviously, is ransomware. While it's shifted its tactics, it's actually not gone away. It's gotten more vicious, if you will. So instead of this sort of opportunistic spray and pray ransomware that we saw a few years ago, now we're seeing attackers be more discriminating in terms of their targets. They're going after companies and they're going after servers. And they're demanding much larger ransom. So that's, on the prevention side, that's one of them. Another thing that we're seeing a lot, specifically in ASEAN, is this digitization. That's easy for me to say. Just the digital transformation. And what that brings to the table is a lot more data, right? A lot more data that you can potentially lose, and a lot more data that you have to secure. And so in this particular part of the world, just having security products that you can trust, that can protect your data, I think is something that a lot of companies are looking for right now.
All right, that's very interesting stuff.